So my name is Madiha. I am a mental health counselor by training. I met Asad and Sheila in Boston, and we used to have our meetings at different cafes and plan Pakathon, and all got very excited by it. So that's how I came on board, and my main interest in it was the healthcare track. Asad and Sheila had the idea one day over dinner, I believe, and they started kind of reaching out. One of the first things they did was made a Facebook page about it. And I somehow came across that Facebook page and got very excited and would post on their Facebook page every day about like different, projects from around the world that were happening and that sounded, like something we could do in Pakistan or adapt to Pakistan. So I would do that like nearly every day. And then they reached out to me and they said, we're having one of our planning meetings. We spoke to T2F in Karachi, which is a great kind of co-working space and just a creative space. So we started talking about how to implement it, and we got a lot of interest. So one of the things that we're working on is working at Dot Zero, which is a co-working space in Karachi, newly opened, and they want to help us implement our projects. So we're going to basically look for what we're calling Pakathon Fellows.
My name is Varda, and the financial challenges in the beginning, because it was being held for the first time, figuring out where the money is going to come was a challenge, and the second challenge was getting the right people as mentors and judges. But once we had a few people on board, it was much easier to get the rest on board. For me, I think the best part was seeing all these Pakistanis together in one room, and actually doing productive stuff. But I don't think it was the innovation and the ideas which was something very awesome for me. It was basically I hadn't, like people flew in from Seattle, people flew in from DC, people came from New York, then from Boston. Getting all these very young Pakistanis together and actually thinking about stuff and actually creating those linkages which will help them further on. I think that was the most important thing for me.
My name is Hanif Javeri. I was part of the winning AgriPack team. AgriPack came about very serendipitously. When I went to the Pakathon event, there were a variety of topics that were available, and there were people divided up in each group. So I looked over at the agriculture side and I saw that there were only 2 people standing there. And I thought, maybe I'll have an opportunity to make a contribution here, and I got to thinking, if we had access to rapidly updated images, why couldn't we use that to analyze crop yields for farmers in Pakistan? I mean, after all, Pakistan's output has been flat for the past 14 years, and even a small improvement in yield would translate to a tremendous improvement in the quality of life of farmers. While we were talking and getting excited about what we had to do tomorrow, I realized that I was the only developer there, and I got a little worried because, how am I going to do all of the coding for this in 40 hours? So David and I went back on the red line, and we walked by a Starbucks, and one of his classmates from Tufts was there, and he said, "Hey, what are you guys up to?" And we told him a little bit about Pakathon and our idea, and he said, "Oh, okay, maybe I'll show up, maybe I won't." And we pretty much decided, okay, we're gonna have to do this on our own tomorrow. Well, when I came in the next morning, he was there, Jack, and he was cranking out a Rails app to get the thing started. So I was super surprised because, we went from having 3 people who were loosely interested in agriculture to 5 people that gelled so well together and were super excited about what we could do to change the lives of people on the ground.
I'm Ayan, and I'm a junior at LUMS.
Hi, I'm Rima, and I'm also a CS major at Lahore University of Management Sciences, and I'm a junior too.
At Pakathon 2013, we presented the idea of Lookout 360, which is basically a crowdsourced crime reporting platform. So how this works is basically you have a platform on the internet or anywhere basically, and you have people from all over the world, or in our case from all over Pakistan, when they see a crime or when they see any wrongdoings or any accident or anything, they just report the accident or the crime to us. This is our platform, Lookout 360, and then we send out a response or an emergency response, or we have a system to perform a bit of analysis on that, and then we can provide emergency feedback as well as store the information in its raw form.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one more thing, that one of the main features that I think the people at Pakathon also really liked about our project was that we aim to actually collect the data and then form a lot of analysis on that data and provide that to people who want to carry out some developmental projects in Pakistan. For example, whatever a person would report, we'd actually mark that activity onto a map, and by the end of some period, we'd actually have a populated map which would tell that this area has had these many crimes and this area has had these many crimes. So basically, we would have some relationship between what's going on and the reason behind it.
I'm Sohaib Khan. I'm the head of computer science department at LUMS. One of the objectives that we have at LUMS here is to involve our students in entrepreneurship and to expose them to this idea that once they graduate, they can do their own work and make a startup. There's a lot of excitement that is being generated around that idea these days, and some of our students have done very well in that space. And so Pakathon, in a sense, was very interesting activity for us when we first about it, because the idea was, okay, can you spend a weekend, hack out some idea which is in some sense useful for Pakistan.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Azhar Rizvi and I'm the Vice Chair of MIT Enterprise Forum of Pakistan. So recently when I was in San Francisco to attend Open's annual conference, I met a group of young Pakistani students and graduates at MIT and Harvard and other places, and they wanted to launch a hackathon especially targeting towards the social issues of Pakistan. So that really caught my attention. So I met them at San Francisco, had a sort of a brief discussion with them. Then one of them, Zila Kaisar, came to Pakistan. We again discussed it over. Then again I went back to USA and met the team, and then finally decided, instead of having this Pakathon only for Pakistani students in the US, specifically in Boston at 4 universities, Harvard, MIT, Boston University and Tufts University, let us engage Pakistani students at various universities. To start with, we started working with NUST and LUMS because they have their own business plan competition. They have been doing it for the past 3 years. So there's a big community of students at the university and their graduates who have gone through that process. So we started working with them. We got the sponsorship of the program from NUST and LUMS.
My name is Akhtar Qurashi and I'm the General Manager for Technology Incubation Center at NUST. I think the credit is due to MIT Enterprise Forum, and we have an implementation partner from Pakistan, and he's also at the global board of the MIT Enterprise Forum. It was him and the Pakathon organizers that thought about bringing it to Pakistan, and they identified 2 top universities, NUST and LUMS. That's how it got to Pakistan. So the idea was from MIT Enterprise Forum, but they approached us and we extended our helping hand. The entire theme of Pakathon was along the lines of developing products and services for the masses of Pakistan, for what is required as unmet needs in the Pakistan. So that really helped, and that's quite in sync with our business plan competition, what we encourage the kids. First and foremost, I think it's much appreciated that the kids who are going to the top universities in the US are still thinking about Pakistan and the problems that exist in the Pakistan and how technology can solve it. Second, it was quite in sync with our own business plan competition, where we encourage kids to develop product and services for the masses living below the poverty line.
Well, my name is Noman Ali, and with me is Ahmad Taqir, Ansar Mahmood and Hassan Javed. And we have been working for the product iTrack for the last 1 year, and we have reached a stage which we call the minimum viable product, and we are ready to launch it into the market.
Okay, our exposure to Pakathon was great, and it was the only opportunity we received up till now to perform on an international platform. Plus, they promised us to give a prize money of $2,000, and Pakathon provided us with a perfect mentorship, both including business mentoring and also technical mentorship as well. iTrack, we came up with this idea because one of our friend in our university, he was suffering from cerebral palsy, in which he was having muscular disorder in his hand. So all of us, the core team of iTrack, we came up with an idea that we can use video processing from a camera to incorporate eye to move a cursor in a computer. So then we worked about 12 months on this idea, and we came up with a minimum viable product.